So I failed. And again. Excuse my kids if they shout. So I failed. I failed once again, the same karmic lesson. And I know I will have to deal with similar situation again. Even though you will gonna ask what sort of karmic lesson. That was regarding unreliable people. And I know I did talk about healthy boundaries in my previous videos. I know it's easy to talk about those healthy boundaries and stuff, but when it comes to real life, it's not that easy to do that. And simply so, I'm just sharing my experience so you know that I'm not perfect. I already said it in the start. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning, and this learning never ever stops. So I started to think about this reliability, and in my life I had plenty and plenty of time to deal in a correct way with those unreliable people. And don't get me wrong, I have improved in many cases, but still I fail with those who gets close to my heart. I think that's the hardest part, because then I forget that I have to put those healthy boundaries. I have to put those boundaries so I'm not taken for granted. And for me, it's still hard. I just still don't know how to do that. And I don't know when I will gonna learn to do that. And people who are unreliable, I don't mean it can be in any case scenario. It's like it can be whenever you lend someone money and they keep feeding you with promises they will gonna give it back, but they, when it comes to the time they have to give it back, they suddenly don't remember you, suddenly they forget about you, suddenly they disappear from the site, and it's just like, yeah, I know, I said previous times, I know it's my own fault, because like the thing is, this last case, when I failed my lesson, the funniest thing is I saw so many red flags, what sort of person that person is. There were so many, and that it wasn't just money wise, it was attitude wise, and in any way, shape or form, there were all the red flags, and I knew that I will be the one who will be taken for granted. I knew that already from the start, and still I chose, instead of believing my intuition, I chose to be hopeful that my intuition is incorrect. And there you go, that's my lesson now, my karmic lesson. So unreliable people, what they usually do, they give you tons and tons and tons of promises, and then when it comes about fulfilling their words with actions, there comes big, huge nothing. And it can be money wise what you lend to people, it can be time wise when you want to meet them up and suddenly they don't have a time. And we all know that there is, like, no one is so busy it it's like all depends from their priorities. So if they suddenly are busy when you ask them to meet up, or you ask them to help you out or something else, it just proves the point that they just don't want to see you, they just don't want to help you, they don't want to give you back the money what you lend, and they even don't feel guilty for that, because you are not their priority in any level. They will gonna remember about you only when they will gonna need something from you. This is one of the karmic lessons what I still can't change, and it's simply because it's like, don't get me wrong, for me it's easy to deal with people, like I can put those boundaries up with the people who already let me down for whichever reason. But if it's a brand new person, and even if that person has had shown red flags towards, maybe not towards me, but towards someone else, and I chose to ignore that, that's my own fault. That's simply my own fault, and that's my karmic lesson. And yeah, that it is what it is. Reliability is one of the things what not many know how to fulfill it. Like in my case, if I don't know 100% sure that I will be able to, like, I will not gonna ever ask money to someone to lend me money if I will not gonna be 100% sure that I will be able to give it back when I promise. I will just not ask for it. Or if I don't know 100% for sure that I will be able to keep the promise, my answer usually then is, I will try my best to do that, but I can't promise you that I will be able to do that. That is reliable person's answer. Unreliable people are just throwing their promises on all the sides, and when it comes to fulfilling them, they just pretend that they don't remember them. Let's put it that way, because they do pretend. They do remember. Don't get me wrong, they do remember, and I know for sure they remember, but they just pretend, or suddenly they have something better instead of keeping their promise. So I'm not upset. I'm a bit disappointed. I am a little bit disappointed in myself that once again I chose to ignore something what I shouldn't, but that's my lesson. I will gonna get there slowly but surely. See, this is another thing where it's like a little bit of learning curve. And the most interesting thing that at this moment, after this summer, after all my videos what I was making, after all my awakening process and everything else, I realized that I'm not dwelling in that, oh, poor me, they broke the promise and la la la. I look at it a little bit in a different way. If I see something like that, I just cut this person out, and I choose not to talk with them. I will not gonna go and beg for money what I'm quite sure I will not gonna get back. That's first of all. I will not gonna beg for someone's attention. I will not gonna beg for someone's time anymore. It's like, if the person shows me that they have zero interest in being reliable, then they are not they just don't have like place in my life. So, and Do you know what's interesting? I think that was in some sort of way like a sign when I decided I have to talk about this as well. I'm sorry, my eye is just like something is in my eye all the time, and I just don't know. I'm just rolling my eyes all the time. There was one television program, and one lady said, that was quite harsh, actually, what she said. She said, you can have the worst character ever, but you can be a reliable person. But if you are unreliable person, then you are not the person, you are just a walking biomass. And I was like, oh, that's quite harsh. But then from another point, when I started to think, in some sort of way she is correct. I have seen people who actually they have horrible character, but they still keep their promises, they do what they said they will do. And then there are like so nice, fluffy people, but what comes about being reliable, they are not. And that makes them even more ugly in someone else's eyes than that horrible character person, because it's like horrible character you can change at any point, really, if you work a little bit more on yourself. But if you are unreliable person, you have way too many issues inside yourself what you have to change. Because, and I'm not even sure if that's changeable. I have a feeling that's some sort of like ego overruling your character and your nature. If you are like that, don't give promises to people if you can't hold them. Don't lend the money from someone if you don't know for sure if you're gonna give it back. It's like like all my life have been like, through my life non-stop people have been going through and being unreliable. And the worst part that most of them, they just knew that I am really loving person and I am helpful person, and therefore they have taken this positive side of me for granted. But one thing is for sure, I am grateful that they have been in my life, because slowly but surely I'm learning how to deal with them. And it is what it is. I just wanted to share this experience. I was thinking and thinking and thinking why I get this lesson, and I just realized my boundaries still are not strong enough in me. For me it's still quite hard to deal with unreliable people for whichever reason. But I will gonna get there, trust me. I will gonna get there. And I hope you are a reliable person, not just a walking biomass. And I hope you don't have to deal with unreliable people, because that's not fun. That's not fun at all. So this is my experience. I know it's like I have been overly positive, giving all these messages and everything else, but you have to see the negative side as well, because we are just humans, right? So that would be quite annoying if I would just give you, oh, this is lesson, this is that. But let's be fair, I'm just a human and I'm still learning. How did I said on my bio in this description about my channel, I'm still learning in many things, and I just want you to get my experience related to that. I don't know, maybe I didn't say too much what you wanted to hear, but this is what I'm saying. If you ever have any questions regarding any of my videos, what is said in that video, or maybe you wanna get more clear explanation on certain things what you didn't understood or something, just either comment under the certain video so I know about what exactly are you talking, or just email me to email what is shown in my description. It's like where is like info about the channel over there. There's my email, so you can email me and I will gonna make a video. But overall, yeah, it's still my lesson to learn. So anyways, enjoy your day wherever you are, and once again, do pay attention, because there are no such thing as somebody is being busy. It only depends from their priorities, and don't put yourself in this priority list like the last one. I mean that in a positive way, because like if you see that too many times you are not their priority, then there is no point to carry on. Whoever that is, friends, lovers, even family. I mean, family, it's a different case. There could vary things, but I mean like what comes about reliability. There is always people will gonna show you how reliable they are in whichever case. They can say they are, but turns out actions prove everything. Check it out. Make sure you see actual actions, not just words. Anyways, I will gonna see you in next video, hopefully soon.